text, audio, and video news of the globe from Scientific Television. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe with us. Thank you.
Now listen to the headline news. No one will support it. Ukraine soldiers react to U.S. peace plan. Reggae legend Jimmy Cliff dies, aged 81. Korea's most prolific online sex criminal sentenced to life in prison. Daughter of South Africa's ex-president accuses sister of Russia recruitment plot. Bollywood's He-Man Dharmendra dies at 89. 5 dead in suicide bombing in Pakistan. UK most expensive place to develop nuclear power, report says. In Ukraine's kill zone, robots are a lifeline to troops trapped on perilous Eastern Front. Japan's high-stakes gamble to turn Island of Flowers into global chip hub. Guardiola's embarrassed and ashamed of behavior. Now listen to the detailed news. Ukraine's frontline soldiers have reacted strongly to the leaked draft U.S. peace proposals. Many expressed anger, defiance, and frustration, while a few showed resignation and openness to compromise. The plan includes major elements such as giving up the entire Donbas region, reducing Ukraine's armed forces from over 800,000 to 600,000, and accepting security guarantees that exclude NATO membership. Soldiers interviewed by The Offered divided opinions. Some rejected the proposal outright, calling it disgraceful, while others believed it might be time to agree on something to stop the ongoing heavy casualties. The proposal also touches on fresh elections within 100 days after the war, ongoing corruption investigations, and the possibility of foreign troops from a coalition of the willing supporting Ukraine during a ceasefire. Legendary Jamaican reggae icon Jimmy Cliff, known for global hits like Wonderful World, Beautiful People, and You Can Get It If You Really Want, has died at the age of 81 following a seizure and pneumonia. His wife, Latifah Chambers, announced the news on Instagram. Born James Chambers, Cliff rose from poverty to become one of the most influential figures in reggae, helping introduce Jamaican music to the world. His starring role in the 1972 film The Harder They Come became a milestone in Jamaican cinema and brought reggae to the American mainstream. Throughout his career, he released iconic songs, collaborated with global artists, won Grammy Awards, entered the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and continued performing worldwide until late in life. In South Korea, Kim Nok-won, the leader of a major Telegram-based sex crime ring called the Vigilantes, has been sentenced to life imprisonment. The group operated like a pyramid scheme and blackmailed victims into producing and sharing explicit sexual content in online chat rooms. Between May 2020 and January 2025, the group exploited at least 261 victims, the largest cyber sex exploitation case in South Korean history. Kim, who called himself a pastor, was found guilty of organizing a criminal organization, producing and distributing sexually exploitative content, coercing victims with illegally filmed material, and committing quasi-rape of minors and vulnerable individuals. A major political and legal controversy has emerged in South Africa after Nkosazana Zuma Ncube, daughter of former President Zuma, filed a criminal complaint against her sister, Duduzile Zuma Sambudla, who is also a member of parliament. Zuma Ncube alleges that Zuma Sambudla and 2 others recruited 17 South African men to fight as mercenaries in the Russia-Ukraine war under false pretenses. The men were allegedly told they were traveling to Russia to receive bodyguard training for the Umkhonto Wesizwe (MK) political party. Police are investigating, while Zuma Sambudla has not responded to media inquiries. Bollywood legend Dharmendra, the beloved actor known as Viru in the 1975 blockbuster Sholay, has passed away in Mumbai at the age of 89. Prime Minister Narendra Modi paid tribute, calling his death the end of an era in Indian cinema. Dharmendra appeared in over 300 films, spanning romance, action, comedy, and thrillers, and won millions of fans with his charm, stunts, and screen presence. His iconic roles, chart-topping songs, and on-screen chemistry with leading actresses, especially Hema Malini, cemented his place in Bollywood history. 2 suicide bombers attacked the headquarters of the Federal Constabulary in Peshawar, northwestern Pakistan on Monday, killing 3 security officials and injuring at least 12 people, including civilians. The attackers were armed and attempted to breach the heavily secured complex, but were gunned down at the gate before entering. Witnesses reported hearing 2 loud explosions around 08:10 local time. Authorities have cordoned off the area, and rescue teams are attending to the injured. No group has yet claimed responsibility for the attack, which Pakistani officials have described as a foiled terrorist plot. A government review has found that the UK is now the most expensive country in the world to build nuclear power plants, citing overly complex bureaucracy in the sector. Commissioned by Prime Minister Sir Keir Starmer, the report from the Nuclear Regulatory Task Force recommends a one-stop shop for nuclear decisions and a radical reset of rules to streamline approvals. The government is planning new large-scale nuclear plants, such as Hinkley Point C and Sizewell C, and also smaller nuclear power stations to meet future energy needs and net zero targets. The report warns that the UK risks missing out on a global nuclear renaissance unless reforms are implemented. Ukrainian soldiers are now using unmanned ground vehicles, UGVs, also called land drones, to deliver supplies and evacuate wounded troops at the front lines in Pokrovsk and Mirnograd, eastern Ukraine. These robots, resembling small turretless tanks, can move quickly and discreetly through tight spaces, allowing soldiers to transport food, ammunition, and medical supplies without exposing themselves to deadly Russian drones or direct attacks. The use of UGVs has become so central that about 90% of supplies for the Pokrovsk frontline are now delivered by these unmanned systems. Japan is making a major investment in Hokkaido to transform the northern island from an agricultural and tourism hub into a global center for advanced semiconductor manufacturing. Central to the plan is Rapidus, a government-backed company partnered with corporations like Toyota, Sony, and SoftBank, which has built a state-of-the-art chip foundry in Chitose. Rapidus has already produced prototype 2-nanometer transistors, putting Japan on the cutting edge of chip technology alongside TSMC and Samsung. Manchester City manager Pep Guardiola apologized for confronting a cameraman after City's 2-1 Premier League defeat at Newcastle. The frustration followed controversial decisions, including a penalty call, a handball shout, and a tight offside ruling. Guardiola, visibly upset at full time, spoke with referee Sam Barrett and briefly addressed the cameraman by removing his headphones. He later admitted feeling embarrassed and ashamed and said he apologized immediately. The match also saw flare-ups among players, including goalkeeper Gianluigi Donnarumma and Newcastle midfielder Joelinton, while Guardiola interacted with Newcastle captain Bruno Guimaraes.